don't know.
Said that to me off camera. Can we be done?
No, I'm saying what has
done.
Ariana not shown up for it?
Wait, don't go.
Don't
Just
leave now.
you gotta fight.
Virtual reality. Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And I hope there's no walk-offs for us while filming and recording this podcast recap, because we're talking about part 3 of Vanderpump Rules reunion. And Evan, Lala tried her best to have a little storm off moment.
She did try her best. Yeah, she tried to storm off. I kind of forget what they were discussing. Was it about Sheena saying that Sandoval supported her more than...
Sheena, Sandoval also said to you guys that over the years, it was him that went to your things and supported you off camera and not Ariana. Is that true?
Okay, so basically what the situation is that there was talk about Sheena saying behind the scenes that she felt Sandoval supported her more than Ariana did at some points. And then when she was confronted with this, I wouldn't say she backpedaled, but she was explaining it in a very soft way. She was very flowery with her language, and
also very practical. She went step by step.
Yes, very practical. Yes, because she's a Taurus, and she's
She was answering the question asked to her.
Exactly. It took her longer than I think Lala would have liked, and so Lala did try to storm off because she felt like Sheena wasn't sharing her truth.
You have stated it a million and one times that he has been a better friend to you than her. No, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
This is not fun for me.
But I think that Sheena got to a place that Lala was sort of satisfied with.
Yeah, well, because when Lala was storming off saying that no one's in the reality but her, Sheena's like, can I finish answering?
Lala, let me finish talking. Can I think of a specific event that Tom showed up for that Ariana didn't? No.
Because she wanted to tell Andy that, because Andy asked who goes to more of the events. She said they both go to events, but Sandoval, she felt, gave her a little bit more. But I feel like Lala was really like the teacher in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or like Bueller. She was just looking at every single person like, is anyone going to yell at Ariana with me? And no one really came to par for that, in Lala's opinion.
Do you know what I thought was really interesting about Sheena explaining herself in the Sandoval versus Ariana support was that Ariana was very receptive. Once she did finally explain that she felt Sandoval was more supportive at times, Rihanna, not Rihanna.
She's Rihanna,
not Beyonce, but maybe she's Rihanna, if not Beyonce. Ariana nodded. She was like, yeah, true. That's a correct assessment, Sheena.
And I feel also like Ariana has never once hid the fact that she is kind of like Paige, Amanda, and Sierra. She's a bed girl. She likes to chill. She likes to lounge. So maybe she's not always going the above and beyond extravagancies. Like she goes to the events and like Sandoval's then like would dole out like champagne and money and like hype up because he wanted like some attention, I feel like, while at those events, like under the guise of supporting Sheena, calling it like that is. And Ariana's like, no, I'm just going to clap for you on the couch. So I feel that maybe the support that he was giving more. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm like, what really above and beyond? I don't really know what above and beyond Sandoval was doing for Sheena besides like paying her rent that one time. But I guess there is more.
I mean, yeah, maybe there is more to unpack there. But to your point, Danny, about Ariana taking a more chill approach to her support, I feel like she has been taking a pretty chill approach to filming this reunion. I mean, so chill, in fact, that she did hardly watched the season. But finally on part 3, we had everyone watch those final 5 minutes all together. And when I knew, like, when this was what was going to happen, when we found out this was going to happen, that they were all going to watch the last little bit together, I was kind of like, okay. But really watching them do it in real time was very powerful. And to see their reactions and to see how emotional Ariana got over it, I don't know, Danny, like this whole season I've been going back and forth where I've really felt that Lala energy. And then I've been like, okay, but like Ariana's making some points and I understand her side. I think in this moment, watching Ariana watch the end of the finale back, I was very much team Ariana, especially because I kind of thought this to myself, but maybe I haven't articulated it yet right here on the podcast. But I do think that Ariana was staying authentic to herself when she walked away. And like she mentioned to Lala, that was a much better ending.
I was trying so hard. And then I feel like it's our job to live our lives. And I'm living authentically by walking away from that.
I feel the entire season, Lala, and at some moment Sheena too, kept on wanting Ariana, like, but what they wanted from that was to react in a way that they wanted her to react versus the way Ariana wanted to react, which is what she was getting to. And I loved, that was such good, like a great little like a dash of shade Lala's way from Ariana. I was like, that's a great ending to set up your season to have a next season so you get a paycheck, don't you think?
If you want to talk in show terms, me walking away from that conversation was a lot more interesting than me sitting there and having it. Was that not a better ending to your season, to give you another season for another paycheck?
I know that was a pretty good read. Although I will say Lala was pretty transparent and open about the fact that this is her job, this is her livelihood, and she was hoping that Ariana would do what she thought she needed to do to keep the train going and to keep her paycheck going. But I think Ariana really did make a great point. Like the storm off was so much more dynamic. But did you catch Lala saying like, well, you think your storm off made the end of the season, me sharing my honest thoughts about Beyonce, God, this, that, and the other. That's what really made the season. And the thing is, I think both parts made the season. I think the ending narration from both Lala and Ariana also made the finale so good. So I don't think you could have had one without the other, honestly.
Yeah.
You're not agreeing with me? I feel like your eyes are telling.
I feel Lala in this reunion moment, and I feel this season really is giving herself like captain of the ship. And it's not it, and I feel she is Lala. I feel there are moments where she's failing to realize that she is one of the ensembles in this cast, and they all have potential to do, a lot of different things. So she's like, it wouldn't have happened if I think the thing that made the ending was Ariana storming out, Sandoval showing his true colors, like we knew that he's like, this is great for me. Lala's freak out was kind of just like, okay. In my opinion, I kind of was like, and it just made Sheena look kind of bad, where Sheena's like, no. And I also think because Lala kept on freaking out, putting so much pressure, and it's kind of what a lot of people are saying as the major feedback for a lot of the Vanderpump cast who has been giving Ariana issues, where they're like, well, we can't do anything because of you. Lala, if this is your livelihood, I don't know, start DMing random celebrities today. If you want to be the showrunner and producer because you sat down with Joe to have tacos to like talk about some stuff, girl, cause some havoc. You know what I mean? If you're so concerned about your check, you know how to do reality TV.
Well, I think if anyone this season did try to rebel against these mandates from Ariana that I don't think Ariana set in place herself. I think they were perceived mandates from the rest of the cast.
And if you would have abided by Ariana's rules, nobody would have ever filmed with me.
I never told anyone that there were rules about filming with him. That's a weird thing to say.
Like, I feel like Sheena very much felt that as she was trying to figure out what to do with Sandoval versus Ariana. Like, I feel like there was some pressure because people, like Lala said, were living in the comment section a little bit. I think that if anyone sort of stepped outside the Ariana box they all felt they were in, it was Lala. So I think she did, honestly.
But here's where the issue is with that.
Okay.
Because she's like ripping Lala Ariana apart, and she's like, but I love you. I'm like, you got to pick yourself a little side here. Because that's where she's trying to be like, guys, I'm doing this for the greater good of all of our paychecks. When it's like, no, just make an authentic choice and we'll be with you either way. Because if you want to slip into, if you want to slip into that villain situation, then you don't have to say that, oh my God, Ariana, I love you and I feel for you and I know it's so hard, but why were you making it so, you know what I mean? Because then it's the real issue you have is that you're just, because like some people are living in the comment section. Lala's concerned about the Nielsen ratings, where I'm like, stop living in the Nielsen ratings, start living in your real truth and be like, Ariana, I'm annoyed at you. And I hate that you think you're this big star, because the truer colors are in all the undertones of what Lala is saying, where she's like, I think Lala is really upset she didn't get a bigger moment post Randall and everything.
Right. And I actually think that this
And I think she should have gotten a bigger. I don't know why because she got dragged at the season 9 reunion, she said, and I'm sure there was a lot of rallying about her, but not to this high of a standard or high as praise as Ariana.
Right. And that's where I think that actually I don't even think it's animosity. I guess we could call it tension, where all this tension towards Ariana really stems from. It's not because of what Ariana did, what Ariana didn't do, what happened to Ariana, what didn't happen to Ariana. I think it's like internally she is comparing her Randall situation to the Sandoval situation, and she doesn't feel like she reaped the same benefits or got the same grace. Like you were saying, she felt like she was, railed against at the season 9 reunion. She really had to show up. She had to explain herself. The energy was very much like, you should have seen this coming. And I think she feels like collectively the world, the cast, the Bravo fandom, everyone has been so soft on Ariana. So I don't know. I think that if we're judging from the final little chit chat that Lala had with Sheena after filming the reunion wrapped.
Ariana got to walk away when she was uncomfortable. I'm creating life and I don't get to walk off the stage when I'm feeling like I'm uncomfortable. So don't f***ing sit here and tell me that it's equal playing fields for everyone. So yeah, I'm a little f***ing annoyed.
I kind of feel like Ariana and Lala, I feel like that's a wrap on that.
That's Mariah Carey. It's a rap sped up version. And I think also Katie too. I don't think Katie and Lala knew any what's so time together. I'm happy at least Lala and Sheena had a little good chat together that got heated about everybody else, because Sheena was really worried at the end that Lala was upset.
You're right. What's going on?
I just think she's mad.
But you did the right thing. Okay? You did the right thing. I'm so proud of you.
Doesn't feel like it was enough.
It's okay.
And it kind of reminds me still of Jersey, where it's like they didn't go with the plan or whatever Teresa thought she heard Jen Fessler say, where like I wonder if Sheena and Lala had a little powwow of like, okay, I'm going to go in, you go in with me. And Sheena was really trying to just be her authentic self, playing being friends with everybody. And she seemed very nervous to Brock that she's like, I think Lala's mad at me. But I guess she wasn't really.
That's so funny you had that interpretation. I thought she was talking about, I think Ariana's mad at me.
Oh, because she was like, I didn't go in. I think she was like, she said something where it was like, she doesn't think it was enough. But I don't know. But that's the hard thing with Sheena. I feel like she's always worried everyone's mad at her.
Yeah, it could be both girls for sure.
Sheena, who are you afraid of?
I felt like she thought she was saying, I didn't think it was enough in terms of explaining to Ariana, hey, I've been here for you, and this is why I was frustrated, and this, that, etc. I feel like because Ariana didn't watch the season in full.
And that's the thing
Right,
too,
and
where
I
you
know
haven't
that-
watched the show. You're watching
Right.
clips on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to give a full perspective.
Yeah.
And there were so many longer conversations that I wish you did get to see.
Sheena felt as though her comments and her explanations didn't land hard enough with Ariana, and she finished taping the reunion feeling like their friendship was still in flux. I mean, if you really watched their interactions and the conversations they had on what was shown on the reunion, maybe there was a part that we didn't see. It didn't seem like anything occurred that would be detrimental to their relationship. Sure, maybe they're gonna not talk as much as they used to, especially when cameras are down. But Ariana even said at one point, like, you're family, you're always going to be family.
Yeah.
So maybe Sheena was talking about Lala, because to me that I would hope that would have been validating for Sheena to know, like, okay, like maybe we had a shitty, rough season about Sandoval, but at the end of the day, like, we were always going to be girls. I don't know.
I know, because I also feel Sheena did a job at protecting Ariana at moments, even when Brock was like trying to talk about people not being supportive, and Sheena was like, well, Ariana always has.
I think Sheena has really fought with a lot of the women in here from the beginning. She's been in the
not
pit.
Ariana.
Not from Ariana, but from everybody else.
And it is so funny how so much of the reunion has been very Lala Ariana focused. Because I like almost completely forgot that they like had to awkwardly try to make Tom and Ariana not talk during this.
You knew me, Ariana. I know.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, so everyone was talking about this conversation between Tom and Ariana that should have happened at the finale. Finally, we kind of had a conversation.
And I love Ariana's like, I don't want to be your Miami moment. It was so, which I love that callback, and it was very cringe. And I like too that Ariana brought up, she's like, the next day, you were eating takeout on the couch. I was in the kitchen. If you really desperately had to talk to me.
No, you did not come to me off camera. And when
wanted
I
to
came
talk
home
to
from San Francisco, you were sitting there on the couch eating takeout, and I was in the kitchen doing something. And by the way, that had never happened the whole time we were living together. We didn't really cross paths. Whatever needed to be said in San Francisco could have been said right there in that moment and wasn't said.
What is your thoughts on that? Where she's like, have the conversation off camera if you so authentically mean it. And he's like, our job is to have uncomfortable conversations.
And I don't want to be in a position where I'm being forced.
That is our job.
I mean, I think it's a tough thing because after 11 seasons of doing the show, I feel like the cast at large is conditioned to save those big important moments for the cameras. But I also definitely understand where Ariana's coming from, because the thing is, when you've had like a 9+ year relationship, that should overshadow and overpower any rules that you've been taught to learn in the realm of reality TV.
Like someone who froze eggs for you.
Right.
You think that
exactly.
you could have a non-lav mic combo moment with them.
Exactly. Especially for people like Ariana and Tom, who at one point were aspiring actors and actresses. Like, they know how to dip into some improv if need be. So have the conversation.
Sketch comedy.
Right, exactly. She takes it very seriously. I feel like they could have had an off-camera conversation and then maybe done something on camera, though it just seems like Ariana was not in a place. I mean, she couldn't even at the reunion, couldn't even look at his face. Like, she was talking to the other side of the room. And I understand that. And I felt like I was going to cry when she was crying, talking about, I want you gone. I want you away. Like, I don't think she wants to deal with it.
I just want you away from me. I just want you gone.
You know what, Danny? I don't think she's going to deal with it for season 12 if there is one.
All of those questions, because the hiatus, I don't know what new drama is cooking this summer for the ladies and gentlemen, but I feel Ariana wants no part of it. She got her new house. She got her nice boy who doesn't want to be on the show also, which is like, I think like an under moment where Andy's like, why did he feel? She's like, he doesn't want to be on this reality TV show.
He went, but he chose not to partake with the gang.
He's just not getting paid.
Well, wouldn't you?
Oh, he's not getting paid.
Yes.
Okay, well, he's still your boyfriend. I mean,
yeah, but I'm not gonna. He has friends in San
Brock,
Francisco,
I don't think,
and I'm not gonna.
Brock didn't get
He's
paid
still
at
here.
the beginning, and he was around. I mean,
Did you kind of feel like that was some shade to Brock?
100%.
Yeah,
he was like, he did it for free, which I kind of was like, oh, Brock catching a little stray, but it's real where he was like, Brock was just doing it, especially at that moment with some stuff that was going on with Brock in the early seasons. When I'm like, oh my God, he was getting dragged for filth about his family for free.
Right. Well, you know, Andy did make it clear, like, now he's worked his way up. We don't know what he's getting, but he's getting some sort of a paycheck now. But I did think that was a little shady towards Brock, maybe. But also,
Brock, yes.
Good for Ariana for finding a man who is not about the fame and this whole Vanderpump.
And also, because what would Ariana's next season be? They have something about her, which is open, and we had people that went from Page Six and they loved it. It's like, so her doing that, and then everyone still being mad at her for not talking to Tom. Like, what was she gonna get from that?
This is why I think, and I know Jax Taylor does not agree with me, I really do think it's time for Sheena and Lala to move to the Valley. I think that
they're already there. Oh, move to the TV show, The Valley. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Like, move to the TV show for like with real positions on.
And I think they are also. Why do you think they have new mortgages?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. I feel like in my head that's lining up perfectly. I think it's time for James to keep performing in Vegas. I mean, he's like honestly killing it as a DJ. Then we have Joe still keeping her job at the hair salon. We have Schwartz and Sandy taking care of their bar. Katie has her podcast that she does with Dana and under the Nick Viall umbrella. So everyone's working and doing their thing. And Sheena and Lala going to the Valley just makes
It does make
sense.
sense.
To me to be like the next logical step in everyone's TV journey.
Would
Well,
you? I wonder if, because I feel the Valley is the next logical step for them, but I always did have a feeling if anybody could jump to Bev Hills, it would be Lala. But I don't know if that would really be in the cards anymore now that there is the Valley scenario.
Yeah, I think that Lala would be an incredible housewife, and in an alternate universe, that should have, could have, and would have been her journey. But it's weird when you're attached to the Vanderpump of it all. But I think if there was anyone to sort of make that jump, it would have been Lala. But yeah, I mean, I think she belongs with the. I mean, she's talking about Kentucky Muffin Brittany. So she's already starting a feud. She's planting the seed. And don't you find it so interesting? I mean, I know Jax made a cameo on this season of Vanderpump Rules, and Sheena and Lala also made cameos on the premiere of The Valley. But it's just interesting how there's so much talk of each show, and the after shows mixing together. It just seems like they're teeing us up for some sort of Vanderpump transition onto The Valley. I mean, even out here in LA, when The Valley premiered, there were billboards everywhere, and the little tagline at the bottom was the next phase or the next chapter of Vanderpump Rules or something. I don't know. It kind of makes sense. I feel like some of the girls on The Valley would appreciate Sheena and Lala going over there to steal some.
Wasn't Janet like a co-host on Sheena's podcast for a moment? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know if she's an official co-host, but I'm always seeing her pop up on TikTok in shenanigans clips. So
okay, yeah, she's always shenaniganing it up, and I feel like, well, I know, yeah, okay, I'm trying to think who else would be there. Yeah, I think they would all vibe well, not well, which is a perfect combination for TV. Wait, and who made you cringe a little bit?
Who made me cringe a little bit? Oh, oh God, I feel like this might be an overlooked moment, but when Tom and Katie were having some sort of exchange, I don't even remember about what, but it wasn't pretty, it wasn't nice, it wasn't sweet, cute, or anything.
About when because it was Katie made a comment how Sandoval interfered in her relationship with Schwartz, and then they were going back and forth a lot, and Andy asked Sandoval how are you guys now? Yeah,
and there was something about like a joke from Andy about their like your guys' chemistry is off the charts or whatever, and then Sandoval was like, we're gonna bang it out after this, which is just like
a lot of sexual innuendos this reunion, which like,
well, he doesn't have Rachel around anymore. So I think he's on the hunt. I mean, I know he's got Victoria Lee Robinson.
Yeah,
but I feel like we haven't heard about her.
No, remember they were on. People thought they were on the outs, and then like he posted a photo of him like licking a areola. I think that happened like 2 weeks ago.
Licking an areola?
Yeah.
This sounds like a fever dream. I mean, a nightmare. I mean,
it was covered. It was covered. I think they were in like a photo booth.
Oh, okay. So sanitary.
Oh, I'm sure Purell's before and after. I think that happened. So I think they are still together.
So the licking of a covered areola. So, okay, so things are serious.
I mean, and like maybe Jax is also now dating a model or something like that. So like there's a lot of model behavior going on.
Would you want to see Tom Sandoval on The Valley?
I don't know if he like. Actually, why do I feel like he would flow with a lot of the guys on that show, for better or for worse?
Yeah, I think. I mean, and he still has the house in the Valley. So
because I also do think like him and Schwartz. I don't think Bravo would want to get rid of them just like that, and they couldn't do a spinoff of them. So I feel they would probably like throw a bunch of people into the Valley altogether. And as much as I love like very sane Danny and Nia, is that his wife's name?
Yes.
I don't know how much longer they have on reality TV because they're just so pure and normal. I know, like
I love them.
I love them so much, and I would love them to be on my TV for a long time. I just don't know how much of this energy they want to put up with their 3 under 3 or whatever. So I could see a lot of shuffling potentially going on. I don't picture my MVP of the reunion, Katie Maloney, going over to the Valley because I don't think she would want to spend any air time with Jax, even though her girl Kristen is there. But I did love how she was starting to raise her voice at Lala, and Lala was like, "Don't you raise your voice at me?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?"
I know the Lala and Katie of it all was really it was good right up until the end. I thought it was interesting how Katie called Lala out for wanting to facilitate these gotcha
moments.
Like sort of, I think she felt like Lala wanted to expose the skeletons in her closet. But I think by the end of the reunion, I think, the first part of the reunion when she was caught talking smack about Ariana spending time in New York City or whatever, I think that was a little uncomfortable for her. Mm-hmm. But by hour 9, 10, or 11 or whatever, Katie found her center and she was like, no, I'm not taking this. I thought it was interesting, though, that little unseen footage clip moment from season 10 before Scandival broke.
Tom and Aaron tend to present themselves one way on the show. They don't tend to fight on the show. They tend to present themselves as having a perfect relationship when I don't foresee it as that.
Why aren't we talking about that? Why is it
because we're not allowed
butterflies and rainbows with them, but they can talk about everything that's wrong with your relationship?
Katie very quickly made a little mumble mention. She likes to speak in mumble sometimes when she
mumblecore. She's Greta Gerwig, mumblecore. Yeah.
She said something along the lines of, "We're not allowed to talk about Tom and Ariana's issues."
Well,
who made that rule?
Well, because it kind of reminded me, because I feel like that was almost like a production trying to do a gotcha moment for Music Kills Kate, but it reminded me so much of when Ariana was like, Tom would put me through boot camp before reunions of what to say and what our messaging is, and then Rachel saying the same thing. So I feel that was kind of just another example of Sandoval trying to facilitate exactly how he came across, because that was also the moment when he thought he was going to be this rock star. So he's yeah. And Ariana just being couch girly, just okay, can I just hang out with my dogs? Please. Yeah.
So your MVP was Katie. My MVP, I think my MVP was LVP. And I say that because I think on last week's recap, I shared my thoughts that Ariana really just does not like Lisa Vanderpump, judging from the looks she gives her. But things took a turn on this part of the reunion because generally I feel like their energies don't mix very well. But Lisa defended Ariana for walking off during the finale.
I wouldn't have shown up with my husband and his mistress or whatever. So yes, she has. Sometimes it's okay to walk away.
And then we got into this discussion about Lisa Vanderpump not wanting to show up to the Beverly Hills reunion seasons ago and then ultimately quitting the show, which I think, Danny, and I feel like you probably agree with me. I feel like that conversation, I don't know if it was strategically produced, but either way, I feel like that was teeing us up for the thought of Ariana spreading her wings and flying away from the Sir nest.
Yeah, I think 100% so, because it's sort of just summed up those it's time to go moments. And she's sort of Ariana said all of her piece that she has to say and everything else that she can. And also because kind of Lisa just moved on to do all of her other stuff. And Ariana has a bunch of other stuff in a bunch of different avenues that she could keep herself busy doing.
So I know we talked about a lot of these kids, or just 2 of these kids, going to the Valley, and it right now the show is on hiatus. But if and when a season 12 happens, what are your wishes, predictions? What would you like to see from this group on the next season?
I know a lot of people online are saying they want a big overhaul, which I don't know if I don't know if that would totally.
We tried that and it didn't work.
Yeah, and it didn't work. I kind of would. I mean, I know that I would like to give. If Ariana's not there, I'd like to give everybody a shot to be these magical talent and producers that they say they are, to have these moments. I'd love to see all the moments that I guess we missed because Ariana didn't want to film with Tom Sandoval. So I'd be delighted, popcorn ready to see the magic happen, to see if there's an iguana funeral or something like that.
What? Okay, so maybe another iguana funeral.
Yeah.
What other moments could you predict happening in an Ariana free show?
I don't know, maybe another water maybe a sparkling water tasting.
Okay, that's riveting.
riveting. Katie having to call about bread orders and Ariana be on the phone at that moment.
A cameo.
You know, a lot of like flustered Schwartz and Sandoval dating stories, you know.
Yeah.
Planes over James and Allie's apartment. I mean, oodles.
Sounds like they've got a hit on their hands.
Appointment TV. That's the spinoff. They're all just gonna have their own spinoff. Yeah.
Everyone gets a spinoff.
Because this is also the thing too, where it's not like Ariana couldn't do a spinoff of just her and have it do well. And that's none of them because it's such an ensemble, these people. And I feel like trying to, instead of like trying so hard to make one person do something, just be like, how can we make everything, the cards are dealt, how do we make it as good as we can? I don't know. What do you think? What would you hope happen?
I think you nailed it. I think that's kind of what's in store for us when a season 12 happens inevitably without Ariana. I think Juana funerals, speed dating,
and them ordering Pizza Hut, which I don't get because I'm like, I mean, I'm a Domino's boy. Like I don't get like maybe it's just I don't know. Is it more of a West Coast thing, Pizza Hut?
Did I miss something? When did people order pizza?
They ordered it like more than once. Usually at James and after the water tasting. And then some other time they had Pizza Hut. And I was like, what's going on here? They had Pizza Hut and Pepsi. I was like, oh, that's so not what I would order for a table.
Yeah, okay. And now I can't even think of a Pizza Hut that I've seen. And I live in the Valley. Like I live very close to Valley Village and where all these kids live. I don't know that I know where a Pizza Hut is, but maybe I'm missing out. Maybe tonight I'm gonna go get a pizza and a Pepsi.
You know what? Maybe if they do next season, like takeout pizza tasting, I'd DVR that.
That's an idea.
There we go. There is something. There's something there. I'm giving a free idea for is it Evolution who produces it?
Yeah, go to Pizza Hut.
Go to Pizza Hut.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'm just thinking of, because we're talking pizza and then the sperm donor party, and I'm just thinking of Phaedra Parks.
Oh my God, yes. Because you knew that he needed $10.99 for a medium-sized pizza.
I don't know. There's been people have been on Twitter being like, retweet this with like the most like savage read of all time. So Phaedra and Kenya have been appearing a lot on my X for the time being.
Oh my God. So epic. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for following us along on this Vanderpump reunion recap journey. We've had a lot of fun, but I feel like we're ready. We're all ready for a little break. But let us know what other shows you want us to recap. We are still recapping, obviously, The Real Housewives of New Jersey every week. The Summer House reunions are coming up.
They're coming up. That could be something. Dubai is coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into this summer. So, all right, until next time.